Hey everyone, this is Laura Gadenik with Laura Gadenik Astrology, and I'm here in Sedona, Arizona, on a little vacation to give you the astrology update for the week of September 28th through October 4th, 2020. Alrighty. So we begin the week on Monday with a lovely trine between Venus in Leo and Mars in Aries. This is like kind of the one saving grace for the week, kind of an intense week. Trines are full of ease and flow and harmony and provide opportunity. So we have to take action in order to get things out of it, essentially. Venus and Leo, Venus is about relationships, about love, beauty, pleasure, things we enjoy, having fun, self expression, our style. And in Leo, Venus is all about being seen, being bold, being confident, being authoritative. And Mars is the assertive planet in astrology. So, Venus making this trine to Mars, this is a really bold day for fashion, maybe wearing something you wouldn't normally wear, making a statement with what you're wearing or like, accessories, etc. Also, this is a great day to be brave in love. Venus representing love and relationships, Mars representing bravery and confidence and um, being assertive. So being assertive, going after someone if you're in the dating world. Um, Also experiencing pleasure, Venus, through doing something adventurous and brave, that's Mars. This could be a great day to be bold in art and self-expression. Also, a really great day to be direct and straightforward without being abrasive or without cutting ties. So, if you need to have a conversation with someone or if someone's in a bad mood or something like that, it's a good way to kind of keep the peace and still be accommodating um, while also being direct and straightforward. So really great day to balance relational needs with independent needs for today. Because tomorrow things get a little crazy. And I will say we probably have felt this for the past couple of days, so it's not like this is only happening on Tuesday. Um, but so we have the sun right here at 7. Oops. Why isn't it letting me? Okay. Here we go. Sun 7 degrees Leo, or Libra, making an opposition to Chiron and Aries. The sun brings up, it just kind of brings things to our conscious awareness. Libra is a sign about relationships, about contracts, including marriage. It's about agreements and boundaries and the terms that we need in relationships to come together and to participate in unity, to participate in relationship as individual beings. So this could bring up a wound. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's an asteroid. Wounds around independence, maybe independence in relationships, bring up wounds around codependence. Maybe you're not taking or being independent enough, or maybe you feel like kind of like if you're in a relationship, you might feel a little bit squashed by a partner, like you're not able to assert yourself, or like maybe they're more controlling, or you feel like you're being controlled in some way. Um, this could be wounds around not having the right terms or the right agreements and realizing that things need to be renegotiated so that things work for you. Be mindful of being triggered on this day or triggering other people. Chiron is a very triggery uh, planetary body. That's the right word. So recognizing that like whatever comes up on this day could just be a wound that you experienced in childhood and that's being triggered, and the pain that you might be feeling, you know, it might not be real, like a real threat and right now and today or tomorrow or this week, but it could really feel that way. Um, so yeah, just kind of being mindful of like what's real, what's in our heads, what has to do with our beliefs, and what our needs are, you know. um, Knowing what our needs are will help us know what our boundaries are in relationships. So that's happening. We also have the second Mars, this is Saturn, Mars Saturn square on Tuesday. It's happening to Mars and Aries. So the first one was August 24th. So thinking back to that time, what was happening around that time? What were you feeling? Was there any sort of conflict or tension? Similar themes could come up. This is the second of 3 squares. The third one will be in January, so this is kind of a longer process. But in general, this is a feeling of being stopped in your tracks. Mars is our energy, it's our action, it's how we take initiative. And Mars in Aries wants to go, and Saturn says no, or you need to stop, you need to slow down, or here's another you know, you have to take care of this other duty or responsibility before you can just go after what you want. You know, Saturn is the reality checker, the authority figure that says, no, you gotta eat your vegetables before you can have dessert. It can be a bit frustrating. Be mindful of just having lower energy this week in general. Take it slow, take it easy. Really think about what you need to sustain your energy. What is sustainable? Around this time, and in general for the past several months, you might have been working towards something or like have had a project that has felt like it's taken an enormous amount of effort, and maybe you're feeling like you're running dry on your energy reserves or your resources. um, so that's where the sustainability piece comes in, thinking about you know, this, if you have this big goal or project or whatever you're working on, it just feels totally draining, or maybe you feel like it's too much and you can't do it. Thinking about making a plan, you know, thinking about the long haul. This is very Saturn. This is kind of about prolonged endurance. This is like a marathon, right? This Saturn and Mars are dancing in this aspect for several months, and this week is one of the pinnacles of their dance. So really making a plan for how to sustain your energy over a long period of time, because it's not going away. You know, this is still in effect for several months. So yeah, I mean, conflict could definitely come up. One person playing out Saturn, one person playing out Mars. The person playing out Mars, if you're in some sort of conflict, could be hot, fiery, emotional, you know, like let's fight, like let's get at it, let's hash it out, let's talk. And maybe the other person, if you're in a conflict, would be playing the Saturn, cold, like maybe emotionally withdrawn, or saying no, like I don't want to fight, no, I don't want to engage, I'm not engaging, you know, like this fight is over. And the Mars person's really frustrated, like, but we got to hash it out, we got to, you know, let's just talk, let's, you know, let's get this over with. So it can be frustrating in that sense because the two planets are really bumping heads. And you know, maybe you're playing Saturn or maybe you're playing Mars. You know, kind of think about which one you tend to be more, the hot, fiery, passionate person, or the cold, withdrawn, maybe slower to enrage person, but maybe a very avoidant. Saturn could be like very avoidant of conflict. um, so so yeah, power struggles, feeling like you have an impossible task, things feeling really much harder right now. Once again, like even maybe this could be a week of feeling really discouraged by like a supervisor or someone in charge, an authority figure. Maybe you get some bad feedback and it really hits home. So just knowing what you got to do to buckle down and get through the next week at least, and definitely the next couple of months. Um, Oops. Okay. So Thursday brings the full moon. Here's the sun in Libra. It's Libra season. Moon's over here in Aries, right next to Chiron. Full moon in Aries. Full moons in general illuminate. They bring to light what's been hidden, what's been kept in the shadows. It's the full moon. It's the time of the month where there's the most light coming from the moon, which is normally not a planet that gives off much light, right? So full moons are always times of things coming to a head, maybe things feeling a little overwhelming or a little crazy or chaotic. And Aries, ruled by Mars, which is in this square with Saturn, it's not the happiest full moon, especially with the full moon conjunct Chiron. Be mindful of feeling overwhelmed, of feeling caught between a rock and a hard place, of conflict, of wanting to explode, of volatility. Really use communication skills you may have, or conflict resolution skills, listening skills. Try to tamper back any hot emotions you might have. I mean, finding a way to express them, of course, because it's good to get those things out of the body. But just be mindful, this is a sensitive full moon. You might even experience volatile people around you, even if you're not the one being volatile. Just the archetype of Mars in Aries, like kind of there could be this quality of hot-headedness or rashness, impulsiveness of, sometimes Mars and Aries can have this tendency of like wanting things to be done so quickly, so immediately that they can come across kind of rude or impatient or selfish. And you might experience that energy in some way this week with maybe a friend or an acquaintance or just someone random at the grocery store or something. This energy tensions are high. So just be mindful of being easily triggered, easily triggering other people, getting in conflicts and fights and not being able to resolve it or not feeling like you can in the moment. Yeah, the best way I can describe it is feeling like you're between a rock and a hard place and not really knowing what to do about it. And that's where breathing can be really helpful, and grounding yourself in the here and now, and doing some meditation and mindfulness practices, and recognizing that you're safe, even if it feels impossible to breathe or something like that. I'm just saying, like, it's just not going to be the most comfortable full moon. Just be prepared. Yeah. Okay. And then the final thing that I'm going to go over is on Friday, October 2nd. This is when Venus moves into Virgo. Venus, once again, rules over love, relationships, beauty, aesthetic, pleasure, joy, etc. Venus can represent our style and how we express ourselves. Venus in Virgo is much more simple and practical. So you might even find yourself wearing more simple, practical clothes, not as flamboyant as Venus in Leo was. Maybe leaning more towards the earth tones a bit. Venus representing art and beauty, we might find ourselves engaging in art and in art that is more practical or production oriented or useful. Virgo rules over the mind-hand connection, so things like knitting, sewing, woodworking, even like playing the violin or playing other instruments. That's kind of a Virgo thing, because it requires a lot of skill. So more emphasis on those types of arts. Perhaps you might find yourself engaging with them. In general, beauty comes through cleanliness and order with Venus and Virgo. Um, Virgo is all about cleanliness and order. Relationships, Venus is about relationships, and Virgo is the sign of the independent woman. In ancient times, Virgo was the woman who didn't need a man to survive. So this included prostitutes and whores and nuns. And I don't mean to say whores in a derogatory term. I mean, obviously, like, however, as a woman, you can make ends meet without a man, like, that's great. So yeah, becoming more self-sufficient and independent in relationships. Venus and Virgo might have you asking yourself, if you are in a relationship, how can we become more self-sufficient or independent from each other? Virgo is very detail oriented and critical, and there can be this quality of picking relationships apart, like with a toothpick, mainly for the purpose of improvement, because Virgo is always seeking to refine, to improve, to get better. But it can feel a little like you're not never good enough or something like that. So be mindful if you're the type to do that, or maybe you're experiencing that from a partner or from another person in general. Just take feedback with a grain of salt and ask yourself whether it really feels true. If any feedback you get that doesn't feel true, just like, it could be a projection, it could be like a one-time observation, who knows? But it is a good time to think about feedback you're given, receive it with humility, and really think about whether it hits home. Um, but also be mindful that Virgo can become very critical, and there can be a desire to improve your relationship or your partner, to the point of it feeling like a little like, I'm never going to be good enough. But it is an excellent time to work on improving relationships. So yeah, be careful of like starting a relationship under Venus and Virgo. Venus isn't super happy in the sign of Virgo. Um, because Venus wants to just experience love, beauty, pleasure, romance, that are more fun. And Virgo is more service oriented, is more about hard work and being useful and productive rather than thinking about beauty or aesthetics. Like Virgo is like, well, that's kind of maybe too fluffy. So they just don't necessarily jive well together. I mean, obviously, any planet in a sign manifests in a very unique way and can be very positive or negative. There's like shadow and light qualities to all placements. But yeah, just be careful of like starting a relationship with that sense of like wanting to save someone, or thinking that you're a martyr or something like that. That can be a downfall. All right, well, that's the astrology for the week. Please let me know how the week goes for you if you'd like. Otherwise, I'll be back next week with another astrology update. Have a good week. Bye.